Hey, you dumb cunts, how's it going? You already know what the fuck it is. Got the bracer on, got my hood down. Down or up? No, hood up, right? Because my hood is up. Then you pull it down. Yeah, okay, so yeah, I mean, you already know what the fuck it is. We got more shit for Assassin's Creed Shadows. Despite the fact that I'm pretty skeptical about this game overall, I don't expect it to be good. I've made a ton of videos on it already, addressing the controversies and the gameplay and all that bullshit. But now we have more. This is one duo, two playstyles. That much is pretty evident. You don't need to be a genius to figure that out because, I mean, it's obvious. One, we have the stealthy assassin, the shinobi, and then one we have the bulky, beefy BBC samurai, essentially, right? You know what the fuck it is. People have a problem with it. I don't. But if you're Japanese and have a problem with it, then I understand, because who am I to say anything about your culture, right? I'm not one of those ignorant Westerners who assume everything is about them. I don't. I understand it's much bigger than me, right? If you, like, once again, that's why I'm like, if Japanese people themselves feel offended by this, then you're probably doing something wrong, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, the West has a track record of doing this shit, appropriating cultures. I get it. But with this, he was actually real, so it's a little different, right? But once again, I'm not gonna go on around right now. I've already made, can't fucking speak, I've already made videos about this topic, about the whole race thing, about Black Samurai in Japan, but whatever, you know. This is another gameplay trailer, really quick, 5 minutes. I don't know what to expect. I've been seeing things and it's not looking good. I already saw the parkour. That looks, you can see that it's still built off of the Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla engine, right? And it's not even like the Assassin's Creed Mirage engine with the side ejects and shit like that. Because Mirage really did overhaul it. They actually did make it better. Like Basm feels different than Eivor, you know what I'm saying? And it shows in the gameplay, and you can feel it when you play as them, you know? Like, you can tell that Ubisoft Bordeaux actually made an effort, right? And that's why they're pretty underrated and kind of goated as well. But this is Ubisoft Quebec we're talking about, and they fucking suck. They made Syndicate and Odyssey, arguably one of the worst Assassin's Creed games ever made, and without a doubt, Odyssey is the worst Assassin's Creed game ever made. And if you're gonna debate that with me, then you can't sit with me, bro. You just can't. Do you see who I am? Do I look like an ordinary fan? Dude, I have a fucking bracer. I got this hoodie on. I got a statue of Ezio over there. It's like a bust. And then I have this fucking flag and an Assassin's Creed 4 black flag. So I'm flexing hard. Okay, am I a gatekeeper? Kind of. Because this is what happens when you don't gatekeep. You get people who don't appreciate the original vision, right? And that happens with every fandom that gets too big. It happened to the MCU, happened to Star Wars, it happened to Assassin's Creed. Anything that gets super big, it loses the original vision, and that's eventually what's gonna happen. It's inevitable, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know what to expect from this. Look, like, once again, it's not like it's completely irredeemable. It does seem like they're making an effort, although not a good enough effort. All right, not a good enough effort to actually stand out. Once again, I can't really say much. From what I see, still, it's obviously leagues better than Valhalla and Odyssey already, right? Because first of all, we have an assassin. Even you can just get rid of Yasuke if you really hate it so much. Just play as Nawe, because you can play the entire game as Nawe, I'm pretty sure, right? And if you want to play a stealthy assassin, you got that, right? Is it gonna be the ideal assassin experience? That's never gonna happen ever again. The golden age of Assassin's Creed is over. Let me break it to you. Let me just tell you straight up, it's gone. It's not happening again. We're not gonna get games like that, or games like Assassin's Creed 1, 2, 3, Brotherhood Revelation. You can't find that here nowhere. No more, right? I just want a game that's like Origins, right? Because if they're gonna stick on this RPG shit, they should focus on Origins, because that was fucking amazing. I loved that game, hands down the best RPG game, no contest. If anyone comes in here saying, "Oh, Valhalla's better than Origins, Odyssey better than Origins," I will burn you on the stake, dude. All right, I will fucking do that because you finna trigger me, goddammit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to say. Okay, let's just watch this and I'll give my 2 cents later. All right, motherfucking 3, 2, 1. Is that the hip-hop track? That's not good. Not a good look, Ubisoft.
One thing we really wanted to do at the start is deliver on great player fantasy. And as we started diving, we had 2 emerging player fantasies that were awesome, the Shinobi and the Samurai. What we didn't want is try to dilute them into one fantasy. We really wanted to explore both sides. So that's something where we said, well, we need 2 characters.
the setting that we had, the Azuchi Momoyama period in feudal Japan, was in such a nuanced time. So it was really interesting
Oh boy,
to be able to
the hip-hop
work
track.
with dual
Oh boy.
protagonists and develop these two characters as individuals, because
He's
we
majestic,
really had
though.
the
He is
opportunity
majestic.
to
Yasuke is.
explore this era by playing off these two different perspectives.
As we worked our way through it and came up with a dual protagonist, it became very clear that Naoe is the stealth character and Yasuke is the fight character.
Pretty much.
Speed and agility on one side, and brawn and strength on the other. They differ in every possible way we could make them differ.
The scream in black and white like in Ghost of Tsushima. Don't be doing that shit. The prone, yeah, that's prone. I wouldn't mind being in the prone position with her, you know what I'm saying?
Is the imagined daughter of a legendary Egan shinobi, Fujibayashi Nagato. And up until this point, she's actually been quite protected from a lot of the horrors of war that have been going on in other parts of Japan. So this is going to be her first real taste of what lies beyond, and it has a profound impact on her.
I wanted to have the stealth as a core pillar in Assassin's Creed Shadows. Player will recognize the classic
This is broken, I'm
Assassin's
sorry, I
Creed
can't.
experience in Naoe,
can't.
but we're adding a lot of things
She kinda bad,
that
though.
make her super unique, so she's the best.
Sweet Asian chick, go low main.
We wanted Naoe to be extremely fast,
Ooh,
efficient,
cool. That was
acrobatic.
interesting.
We've worked a lot to make sure that she has the coolest, most
Too many flips.
spectacular parkour we could give her. She
You could do
squeeze
that, it's not
into
new.
corners. She can go prone, meaning that the character can go underbelly and just crawl around in the dirt.
I want to go under her
Disappear
belly.
from view. We really wanted to leverage all the light elements that come with our new tech and use it in a core way for our shinobi fantasy specifically. So what that means, at night, you have to read the environment and hide in the pockets of shadows that are cast naturally in the world. And that affects how NPCs can see you and if they can sense you at all.
See, that's good, right? That's dynamic. I like that.
What we want the
Splinter Cell
player to
vibes.
experience is the feeling of being the predator. So you feel like a ninja, you can break light, you can vanish into the shadows, and you're flipping on roof with the physics-based grappling hook, so the stealth is more rich than ever, and you really feel that she's like a blade in the shadows.
Not in the crowd. We're not doing that. And not this guy. The big beefy BBC boy.
Is our first historical protagonist in Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
What we know about Yasuke historically is just a bit, but it was enough to get the team really excited about the opportunity to work with him.
That's what I've been
as a
saying this entire
character.
time.
He can fight his way out of anything, but he's also super smart and can think his way through things equally as well, and is going to be somebody who always has a commanding presence.
So especially in combat, when we think about Yasuke, it's really about dictating how the fight will go. And to do
Net
so,
training or
we created a
something?
mechanic called the posture attack. So he can chamber an attack, and then he can launch that attack to do massive amount of damage and take out anyone.
Yasuke is very, very strong. He can barge through reinforced doors. He can lift heavy objects that Naoe can't. But that means that he's somewhat slowed down compared to Naoe.
Yeah, as you can imagine, yeah. He's a
On the
chunky
ground,
boy, yeah.
That's where he shines.
We have two characters
That horse
who
looks
have
sick.
such different gameplay styles. So for every situation, every gameplay moment you're going to encounter, you really need to think through everything from these two perspectives.
Right?
Blood must be paid in blood, Yasuke.
We always want to respect player choice.
Pitch on the mission, not looking too good.
You can do quests with any character. So if you are Yasuke, you play with his strength, but also with his weakness. Same for Naoe. Each character has their own skill trees, but also they can master the different weapons. So it's not just about stats, it's about the player competency to really understand how the different mechanic works.
They have different speeds, they have different HP, they have different gear sets, so they're very unique and they're great
OG
balance
Smoke Bomb
of
back?
two player fantasies.
The most exciting part of having our dual protagonist is the distinction and the fact that they don't really overlap. Narratively, they have common goals and they are aligned on what they want to do, but the way they go about it is drastically different. Sometimes
As you would
in
expect.
Naoe, even if you're very good, you'll hit a wall and some enemy is going to kick your ass and you go, you know what, let me switch. And the same is true for Yasuke. Sometimes you'll get a setup, a couple enemies are high on rooftop that you cannot quite reach and having to go, you know what, let me switch back to Naoe. And having this push-pull that players get to experience of which characters is good in what situation, it gives us lots of levers to play with and try to break the mold, I think is the most fantastic thing we've achieved with our dual protagonist from a gameplay perspective.
That was a cool shot. November 15th. That's not even that far, to be honest. Like, what is it right now? It's like middle of August. August is almost over, dude. Okay, dude. Okay, I got a few things to say. First of all, I get what people are saying with the whole diversity thing, because like everyone who ever spoke was white, and I'm not the type. I don't like being like a fucking social justice warrior and be like, oh, we need diversity. No, fuck that. But like when you're making a game about history and shit, then I feel like it needs like, and I know like I know that there are Asian people working on the Japanese people working on this, but like, why aren't they talking then? You know what I'm saying? And would a Japanese person sign off on a black samurai? That's the question. Because like I said, a lot of Japanese people are upset about this. And if anyone has the right to be upset, it's Japanese people, not white, blue-haired liberal women. No, it's Japanese people, actual people whose culture they're appropriating. You know what I'm saying? Now see, I'm not trying to play devil's advocate, because I fucking hate Ubisoft more than you could imagine, right? They ruined not just my favorite franchise, Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed will never be what it used to be. Not only that, but they ruined a ton of other iconic franchises like Prince of Persia and Splinter Cell, right? And I'll never forgive them for that. They just keep on fumbling, right? So don't ever think I'm trying to like take Ubisoft's side, because I'm very not. I'm being extremely critical because I care about this shit, right? Because this franchise is important to me, and I've been like playing every game ever since I was a fucking kid. You know what I'm saying? And okay, yeah, I'm a nerd, okay, we fucking get it. But okay, if you put all that controversy aside and the fact that it's Ubisoft, the game itself, it obviously, like I said, it's an improvement from Valhalla, and like already looks 100 times better than Odyssey. Odyssey was a soulless husk of a game. It was barely a fucking game. It was barely even anything. It was just fucking nothing. This looks like, okay, they're actually making an effort to make it look distinct, right? And it obviously makes sense. Like, for example, in Assassin's Creed Syndicate, like there was like very little difference between Jacob and Evie, other than the fact that certain like power-ups and shit like that. Like Evie would get more throwing knives and Jacob would get more like power or some shit. I don't know. Like I haven't played the game in a while, and I really don't want to, because it's one of my least favorite games, but you understand why, right? But this one, they're like drastically different. Yasuke can't do certain things in the world. He can't do parkour. So I'm guessing if you have to go up to like some, like maybe there's a quest on top of a fucking building, Yasuke can go there, but guess what? Nawe can, right? But I'm guessing the world is designed so like there are ways. So obviously like Yasuke, he obviously can't climb like Nawe, right? Maybe he can, but just slower because he's wearing armor and he's like a big guy, right? But maybe there's another way for him to reach that destination, and I like the idea of that. I'm gonna make this comparison, and don't crucify me for it. Okay, listen, it reminds me of Arkham City. I don't mean to compare the two; they're not comparable. Okay, I'm just saying that in fucking Arkham City, there were areas that Batman could not go to. That you had to switch to Catwoman, and it was seamless. And then she could, like, you know, the overhead grates and shit like that. Yeah. So it's kind of like that, right? You can you can go out the entire world with Catwoman, and it would work, right? Because it's designed for both of them. So I feel like they're doing something like that, right? Arkham City is a 100% times more superior game, and that is no question whatsoever, motherfucker. I mean, it looks alright, right? And it makes sense. Like, obviously, it's pretty obvious. Okay, he's the big guy. He's better at combat. She's small. Yeah, I get it, right? But like, essentially, in this, they didn't really tell me anything new. They kind of went in depth in things that we already did know, but like, it's good, right? I mean, like, they say it was part 1, so there's gonna be other parts too, and I look forward to seeing it, because once again, like, I've been with this franchise for a while, so through the ups and downs, I wanna see, even if it's gonna crash and burn, I wanna see that, you know what I'm saying? I wanna see Assassin's Creed end once and for all, you know what I'm saying? Although Assassin's Creed Infinity has really got me worried, because, oh boy, that is not a pretty sight, you know what I'm saying? And notice how, like, when she mentioned that, like, oh, he's our first historical character, and that she said that we know a little bit about Yasuke, but it was enough for us to make the character. This is what I've been saying ever since this whole controversy came out, that this is what Ubisoft has been doing ever since the very first fucking game, right? Once again, you can tell who's an old school player who's played all the games versus those who just want to get mad, right? Like me, I played all the games, so I'm not mad, because I understand this is what they do. Of course, it's the first that they're adding a playable, actually real historical character. I get that, and that's why people like debate, oh, was he a samurai, retainer? That doesn't fucking matter. He was a black guy in Japan, and that's interesting, and he had some sort of ties with Odo, right? And we don't know, maybe he was retainer, maybe he was samurai, but once again, that's all they needed. That's all they needed to make a compelling character. And I will admit, from my Western standpoint, I get it. If you're Japanese and you feel different, I understand that, and I respect it, right? Because once again, your culture. But from my Western point of view, it's interesting. A black samurai during that time, yeah, I think it's kind of cool. I just hope that it actually makes sense in the story. I want people to be kind of like racist towards him because he's black, and let's be honest, they kind of were racist to him back in the day. I mean, they tried to wash the black ink off of his skin. I mean, that's not exactly a welcoming party, you know what I'm saying? But once again, if you don't feel that way, then I understand, and I respect your opinion. Like, okay, a good example, Assassin's Creed Rogue. You know where it's set? It's set in America. It's set in, like, you can go to New York and shit like that, right? But guess who's the main protagonist? It's an Irishman. So why the fuck wasn't he in Ireland? You know what I'm trying to say? Why do we get to play as a fucking American? Assassin's Creed 3, we played as an actual Native American. That was the most accurate you can be. On top of that, why don't we talk about Assassin's Creed 4? It takes place in Jamaica and like the Caribbeans and like the Bahamas and Nassau and shit like that. He was a Welshman, so what the fuck was he doing there? You know what I'm saying? Edward was a Welshman, so what was he doing in the Caribbeans? No one said shit about that. On top of that, Ezio in Revelations was an Italian in Constantinople. Why didn't we play as an actual Turkish assassin? You know what I'm trying to say? So once again, I think you're mad because it's getting a lot of coverage. Because like I said, no one complained when Ezio was in Revelations in Istanbul, or was it Constantinople, right? And no one complained when Shay was there, and no one complained when Edward was there, right? Because that just makes sense, right? But once again, I'm not trying to like berate anyone. If you don't know, what I'm trying to do is give you examples of what's been going on, what's been going on, how this company operates, how this franchise operates, and maybe if you know the context, and maybe you may like understand why they're doing what they do. Because once again, this is what they do. Right? They take, even if it's a smidge of a doubt, oh, this could be an interesting idea, and they make it. Because once again, at the end of the day, it's a work of fiction, not a documentary, right? It's supposed to be like an alternate what if type scenario of history. That's what it's always been ever since the very first game. You know what I'm saying? Right? There were never glowy fucking apples of Eden. Speaking of, there were never fucking glowy apples of Eden. There were no pieces of Eden. There were no Isu. There were no fucking aliens. None of that shit. Right? But they made it in the game because it makes a compelling story, you know what I'm saying? So maybe after knowing this little context about this whole franchise, maybe you'll change your view a little bit. Not that I give a fuck about your view. If you have a view, great. If you disagree with me, amazing. I don't give a fuck, right? But like, I just want to see what people feel about this, especially the Japanese guy. I want to see why they're actually so mad and how we can deal with such criticism. But regardless, I mean, the gameplay looked interesting. They basically told us everything we already knew. Yeah, you can play as Nawe or Yasuke. You can play any mission, even side quests. So you can potentially play the entire game as just Nawe or the entire game as Yasuke. That's actually kind of interesting. Obviously he's combat, she's stealth. We all fucking know this. Yeah, I mean, I got really nothing else to say. It's been cool. I can't wait to see the next part, because I want to see how this game turns out, you know what I'm saying? And maybe we can get some story, because we don't have too much information about the story, you know what I'm saying? So it'd be really interesting if we get something on that. But anyways, that was Assassin's Creed fucking, I don't know what it's called, Shadows Nawe 2 gameplay style bullshit. I don't know what the fuck it is. You know what it is. And I'm out this bitch.